Hello everyone and welcome to OAK101 How to Make a Website. My name is Alex and I'm going to take you through the basic steps in how to make your first ever website. Now, this class is for complete beginners. If you've used website technology such as HTML, CSS and JavaScript before, then this class probably isn't for you. However, if what I just said makes no sense at all to you, then fantastic, you're definitely in the right place. By the end of this course, you'll hopefully understand what these technologies are and you'll also be able to use them. Throughout the course of this class, I'm going to be taking you on a journey and teaching you the basics in website engineering, getting you familiarized with some basic website coding languages such as HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and we'll be working up to making your first website which you'll then be able to take away with you. The whole aim is to teach you how to make a website, then also so you have something to take away from it. So let's have a look at one of the websites which you could create. So this website here on the right hand side is a simple biography page. Here we have one for Barack Obama. Obviously though, you could do it as about Alex, about John, about Kate, about anyone. Text is very easy to change on a website. I'm going to be teaching you how to put an image into a website, how to style fonts, so we have a nice title here, how to put some more images in with some links in here, and then also how to use the Google Map API here. We'll then also be leading up to how to create some interactive content on a website using some JavaScript with these tabs here. Now I've chosen this design for the website because it can be used in a lot of different contexts. For example, here we have the same design but for Apple. So if you're starting a company, you're starting up a startup, you need a website but you can't afford to outsource, then I'll be teaching you in 4 hours how to make a website such as this. So again, simple logo and putting some text in here, it can then tell your customers very simply what you're doing. Or you could do something completely different. Here we have one for a university society. You could do one about your most recent holiday or really anything. As you can see though, just by changing the background color, the image at the top, the text and where the Google Map points to, it completely changes the feel of the website so it can be used in different situations. Now, of course, this website is extremely basic, but after doing this course, you should then be able to take your website a lot further and build on it as time goes by. And of course, doing this is completely free instead of paying someone else to do it for you, and they turn up with a website which perhaps isn't very good at all. So at the end as well, the last finishing touch will be uploading a website such as this onto your own domain name. When I say a domain name, I mean something like www.bbc.co.uk. This is the domain name for the BBC. Now, as you can see here though, this website isn't actually on the internet at the moment. It's actually pointing to something on my computer. My name's Alex Jones, and we can see that this is pointing to somewhere on my computer and uses Alex Jones, Dropbox, OAK, how to make a website, and then we got some strange characters here. We can see how this has happened by looking in my Finder here, Documents. If you're using a Windows computer, then Finder is just Apple's version of My Documents. You can see here I've got some files here. Now, to get started, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download the zip file, which is below this video in the OAK class. Download that and then save the files in a folder called How to Make a Website, and then call the zip file something like downloaded from OAK or something along those lines. And then you should get all of these files here. Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you won't see that zip file link underneath the video. You'll get the most out of using this and going through these videos by going onto the OAK class itself. The link to the OAK class is below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Anyway, once you've downloaded this zip file, you'll then see all these files. You see you've got the Twitter image here, the Facebook image is over here as well, and then we've got Barack's face here, and we've also got some strange files called society.css, society.html, aboutme.html, aboutme.css. Now, see what happens when you click on one of these .html files. What you'll see is that your computer will then open up this file in your internet browser. Now, I'm using Google Chrome here. I'd recommend you use Google Chrome for this class, as all internet browsers display websites slightly differently. And as well, if you're using an old internet browser such as Internet Explorer, they're quite slow and they're actually quite a pain for developers to make websites for. So definitely, if you can, try and update to a modern browser, and I'd definitely recommend Google Chrome. And by the way, I don't work for Google, I just think it's a great internet browser. Anyway, so as you can see, we opened up this website here by clicking on this link. So give that a go yourself and see what happens. If we click on aboutme.html, aboutme.html opens, society.html opens as well. If you click on one of these .css files, that won't do anything for now. Well, actually, yeah, it will probably open that, but don't worry about that for now. I'll be explaining that in about 2 lessons' time. So, going back to the about.html page on the bio, you'll unfortunately see there's a little bit of a spelling mistake here. In a rush to get this website ready for this class, I accidentally typed would incorrectly. It should be W-O-U-L-D, but it's not. So we're going to try and edit this this text here so it spells would correctly. This is going to be your first experience of coding a website. To do this, you're going to need to download something called Sublime Text if you're on a Mac, or Notepad++ if you're on a Windows computer. And the link to download them should be below this video on the OAK class. Let me just get rid of some of these tabs. So if you're on a Mac, search for Sublime Text. Now, by the time you do this, perhaps Sublime Text 3 is out, but at the moment it's only Sublime Text 2. Download that for OS X, and then if you're on a Windows computer, download Notepad++ here, and then just click download here. Once you've got them downloaded, open up a window for Sublime Text or Notepad onto your computer like this. Now, when I'm making a website, I like to set out my screen like this. So we've got the internet browser on the right hand side. We've got the files, the directory system, the bottom left, and then the text editor at the top left. Now what we need to do is right click on aboutme.html, open with Sublime Text 2. Great, we've opened this up. This here, scrolling up and down, shows all the code which then makes this website here. I like not all the code. We're linking to a couple of external files here, but we'll come back to that at a later date. This is about 70% of the code which makes this website. We can see that if this is your first time seeing code, perhaps this may look very complicated. There's a lot of different colors here, a lot of different strange words such as div, ul, li, h2, body, script, what does function mean, and all these strange characters here. Now, it actually isn't that complicated at all. And a lot of people, when they're first getting into coding, look at something like this and they think, oh my god, I'm never ever going to be able to learn this. But that's wrong. When you break these down into their own little components is actually very easy to understand, and this class is going to be teaching you this. And to show you how simple this is, we're going to scroll down to try and find this bit of text here, this wood, and we're going to try and change the spelling. So here on my text editor, it's round about line 35 of the code. Evidently, if I extend it like this, we change the numbers here on the left-hand side. So yeah, on line 35, just change the letters around. We can see it hasn't updated this straight away. Now the reason being is because we're pointing to this file on the computer, but what we haven't done is we haven't saved this here. This is just like a document, just like a Word document. What we're going to do is we're going to go File, Save, or Command S, Control S if you know those shortcuts. And then we need to refresh here. Now we've got it spelt correctly. This is very important. You're actually going to be doing this a lot. You're going to be coding something in the left-hand side here, and you're then going to be refreshing here on the right-hand side. This is why I like to set up my development environment just like this. So you can see as well. Let's just do this again. We can go, hello there, I am learning how to make my first website. Great. We can see it hasn't appeared here. We're going to save, Command S or Control S if you're on a Windows. We're going to go over to Google Chrome and click refresh. The text has then appeared here. Obviously, there's still a lot on this website which we still don't understand. Now, what the hell is all this here? And what do these, when do we ever use these? But that's what we're going to be going on to next.